Hey, I'm Kim Hill with the Nashville Treehouse, and I'm actually on vacation in Florida, but I am having a little chat today with my friend Sarah DeShields, who is the beautiful Scottish songstress. I keep trying to say that word. I don't know if other people describe you that way, but I was like, she's a beautiful Scottish songstress that is on our She Sings CD. And we've already had a lot of people ask us, is she really from Scotland? And we're like, yes, listen to her. But one of the things that we thought would be interesting just to talk to you about, Sarah, is just not only how you got to the States, but just the fact that you're a mom and that you're juggling a lot of things, like a lot of women juggling music and motherhood, especially is of interest to us, especially in light of Mother's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
And first of all, just would love to welcome you here, and just thank you again for your contribution to She Sings. And we'd love to just let people hear a little bit about your story and how you came to the States, how long you've been in the States, how you ended up in Charlotte. So maybe we could start there.
Okay. Well, I've been in the States for I think nearly 10 years now, and I'm really here just because well, maybe there's multiple reasons, but the main reason is my husband is from Charlotte, and so. But the funny thing is, I did meet. I mean, there was just a lot of connections with Charlotte that kind
Hmm.
of drew me here as well. But yeah, I moved here mainly for my husband Kevin. So, so yeah, I mean that is actually a very long story,
You're right.
which is, but that's the basis of it.
I've heard parts of your story. Maybe one day I can hear more of it. I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
But we're glad you made it to the States, and um, would love also just to have you tell us a little bit about your musical background, your songwriting. I think I saw one day you posted a picture of your dad singing a James Taylor song, and I'm a
Yeah.
huge James Taylor fan. That's what I grew up
Um,
listening to, and um, I thought that was really cool. So I'd love to hear more about that from you.
yeah, actually, it was really fun because I was just back home and my dad had, we just, reconnected by sitting down and just going through all his books. And he
Mm-hmm.
has books upon books that he's put together himself of all the songs that he remembers, from growing up himself and the stuff that I grew up just listening to him listen to, and amongst a lot of that was stuff like James Taylor and Crosby, Stills and Nash and um, Simon Garfunkel, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, all of that. And so that was probably very much instilled in me anyway, just listening to, I loved all the stuff he listened to.
Right.
So, and I desperately wanted to play guitar because he played guitar. My dad loves playing 12-string guitar and stuff, and I always found it really hard. So, I never really learned till I went to college actually, but yeah, we had a really good time a few weeks ago, just sitting down together and playing the song.
And you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Just hold your hand.
I think that's probably where a lot of my, um, I think definitely with stuff like Simon and Garfunkel and things like that. You think of the melodies and the harmonies and stuff like that. I mean, that's got to sink in somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and dad actually used to sing together. They used to sing a lot of the Everly Brothers stuff around.
Oh
They'd go around
yeah.
hospitals and sing to people, and I thought that was really sweet. But my
Oh,
mom's a
that's
good
cool.
singer. My voice sounds a lot like hers actually. So I definitely got that from her.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah.
I love that. So that's pretty cool. So you got your guitar playing from your dad and your voice from your mom.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they got me piano lessons when I was 7, and then I went and did percussion when I was 12, and that's actually what I did at college. Was percussion was my major.
Wow.
But while I was there, there was a lot of people. There were a lot of people that play guitar, and there were open mic nights and stuff. And I wanted to accompany myself, so
Mm-hmm.
that's just basically what I did. Was picked it up then. Um, Joni Mitchell was another one. She was
Mm-hmm.
major for me,
Mm-hmm.
especially in college. I listened to a lot of Joni.
I love
So,
that. So
yeah.
interesting. Because how old are you?
I am 31.
Yeah, so that's so interesting because I'm 50, and
Yeah,
you have so many similar musical background that I have because I was
yeah,
listening to what my parents were listening to in the
right,
70s. So you're
right.
listening to what your dad's listening to. That's just really fascinating to me that you could
Yeah,
have those same influences that I had, but almost 20 years apart. That's just
yeah,
that shows you
yeah.
how
Well, it's
powerful
timeless
that music
music, isn't
is.
it? It's
Yeah.
absolutely timeless stuff, you know.
Yeah, I love
So,
that. Years ago, I have two boys, and years ago, my oldest son discovered that if I was stressed out, the best thing to do was to put on James Taylor, and so he would put on James Taylor CD, and he figured out that really quickly that was just something that was comforting to me, and I think because I'd
uh,
listened to it since I was like 9 years old or something, so
yeah,
it's fun.
that's really sweet.
So tell us about your boys. How old are your boys?
Um, Rowan is 3 and Jonah is 7. Rowan is technically supposed to be taking a nap right now, but I think he might come out and say hi. I don't know. We'll see. And Jonah is at school, so yeah, they're amazing. They're
Uh,
amazing kids.
I've
I love
seen
them.
I've seen videos and pictures of them, and they are beautiful. When I see pictures
They
of them,
are
I'm just like,
beautiful.
they are beautiful children. And
Yeah,
I think I'm always drawn to them because my boys are almost exactly 4 years apart from each other,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
they're 17 and 21.
Oh gosh.
But when I see pictures of your boys, it just is so sweet. I love seeing that. And I know
Yeah,
it's very challenging to be a mom, especially of kids that age, and
yeah.
a wife, and to try to also do your music. And we were so impressed that you actually recorded yourself for She Sings. That was very impressive. I don't know very many female artists that can accompany themselves and record themselves. So we give you huge kudos for that. And we
Thank
thought that was
you.
amazing. And you probably did it while Rowan was napping or something, which is
Yep.
but I'd love
Yep.
to, I'd love to hear like what would like a perfect day with your family be? What would you do if you could just have the day to do whatever with them? And then I'd love to hear what you would love to do if you had a perfect day alone. What would that be? What would that look like?
I think the perfect day with the family usually ends up being at the beach
Mm-hmm.
because I think for whatever reason that's just the only place where everybody is happy. You know, like our boys don't fight on the beach. They
Mm-hmm.
just don't. And they fight all the time right now. I think that's like you know what, it just drives me insane. So, but when we go to the beach, it's like, you know, Rowan will just throw stones for hours into
Mm-hmm.
the ocean. He'll just stand there and throw, and Jonah will just dig and play and swim, and it goes on for, you know, we'll be there for hours and hours, and Kevin and I will read or chill or walk. I mean, it's sort of the most at peace we can be,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I love taking the boys to the beach. We're fortunate to be so close to the beach, you know.
I love that.
So we do get to do that quite a bit, which is good. But day by myself, I mean, anything, just being alone is nice. You know, I can pot around my house and be quite happy, you
Right,
know.
right.
But yeah, I mean, I would probably say like getting. I mean, if I was to get away anywhere, I don't know. I mean, I've taken solo retreats. I actually stayed at Paulette's house when she wasn't there a few years ago, and that was perfect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just being able to be somewhere remote.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I do like to be quite a lot of times. I need to make sure I am like not around people at
Mm-hmm.
all. Sometimes there's
Mm-hmm.
an introvert part of me that just really needs that. So the more
Right.
remote, the better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
if I was to be given a gift of being alone, I would go
Mm-hmm.
you know, as far away or as quiet as possible, just so I'm not going to see anybody. And that I'm happy, you know, it's rejuvenating for me.
Mm-hmm.
The mountains are good, and
Mm-hmm.
we're fortunate to live near those as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. What will you do Sunday with your family for Mother's Day?
We're actually going to go to Kevin's mom and dad's
Mm-hmm.
and celebrate with them. They live really close by, and they're phenomenal grandparents. And
Oh,
so, yeah, we're going to just celebrate Mother's Day there.
that's great.
Yeah, whole family together. So
Yeah,
it'll be
I
good.
love that. Well, if it's any encouragement at all, my boys survived fighting, and now they both say that they wouldn't. They're my boys are so different. I'm sure yours are too. They're very opposite
Yeah.
of each other, but
Yeah.
they love each other so much, and
Yeah.
it's I think that's my boys. When I would try to get them not to fight, they're always like, "Mom, that's just what boys do. That's just what boys do." And I'm like, "Please don't fight. Please don't fight."
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. You have to. It's hard to know when to let them just do it and get on with it, and when it's like, okay, enough.
Right.
It's hard to know.
Right.
I think they're really emotionally sensitive, actually. Well, Jonah is. So it's not usually the rough and tumble fighting. It's more like it's actually words and emotional stuff, facial expressions that they're really getting under each other's skin and pushing buttons, and that's what drives you good. They can wrestle all day long and have fun.
I know.
Together.
I know.
They're wonderful, though.
Well, I hope we get to see them at some point. But thank you for just having a few minutes with us to share about your life. We just are huge fans of yours and can't wait to hear more of your music, and just are so honored that you'd be part of She Sings. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a part of it, for sure. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. And
thank you. You too.
Thank you. I'm going to be at the beach with no children.
Oh, sweet. Perfect Mother's Day then.
Yeah, so a little different. I think it's always a funny thing, even as old as my boys are now, you want a break from them, but then the minute you get a break, you miss them so much and you want to be with them. But I'm learning to enjoy my breaks and enjoying getting to be here with friends this weekend and having a little break. So I hope your weekend is beautiful, and thank you again for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.